Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Sid. Hi, Jackie. Hi, Adriana. Rebecca, Molly is there. Okay. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Maya. Okay. Is it recording? I think we should record it.
It says
Okay.
recording.
Yeah?
It says recording.
Okay, cute. Okay, great. All right. Thank you, Alex, for starting and sharing here. If everyone, I don't know what Alex said, so if I repeat, I apologize. If you can't find it, it's fine. I was just gonna do a little, but we don't need it.
I was just telling everyone to feel into their bodies and find, or if they wanted to share what brought them here today.
Great. Love that. Thank you. And I wanted to just start with a little bit of, as you're writing that, just a little bit of spiraling in our seats, just to kind of welcome the spiral in, because we can't do anything related to the womb without acknowledging the cycles, the spiral. So you can even just move in your seat, or see if when you try that, if you don't want to, then you could just stop doing that and follow that, but just to kind of get in touch with a sense of your own body's impulse, or even spirals in your shoulders or your head and neck very gently, or just looking around your space. And if you're typing, you could kind of see what it's like, just giving permission to move, right? And to let yourself be in this space while you're moving, and then noticing if you don't want to move, you can stop. Anything you're bringing in, what drew you, what's drawing you today. Some of you have been here many times, some of you are new, so just tuning in, feeling into that. And just letting your body turn all the way around, see where you are with your eyes, show your body that it's safe where it is.
Little sparrow, don't make your home out in the sun.
If it feels good for you to just bring a little bit of gentle touch to your neck,
out in the sun.
or upper back and shoulders.
Little bird, oh, don't you know your friends flew south.
Just letting yourself settle in to this little moment that we're gonna drop in gently and with a lot of curiosity and compassion, and in community to this great mystery, this giver of life, this eternal darkness that is the womb. And really listening to your own womb and seeing what wants to reveal itself. So it is always an exercise in relating to the great mystery, which we know is something that is scary and terrifying. And at the same time, there's ways of learning to relate that are also nourishing and necessary in certain moments, depending on what we're going through. So as we welcome you in, I wanted to just offer a few minutes to some of the folks that will be holding space in our next womb healer training. There's a teacher training, like a practitioner training, but there's also a course called Shameless Goddess for people that really want to get in touch with that sacred, divine, feminine energy that's within, right? And really having a way to practice sinking in and being in relationship to it. And so I wanted to ask, and it's also spontaneous, so just be very loving as these people share, because it's very vulnerable to share in general, and we have all kinds of feelings about it, right? Especially when it comes to these topics. So as people are sharing, just make sure you put up reactions that feel, appropriate to, what you're noticing in your body. And also you can write in the chat anything that you're hearing that really resonates with you. And, if any of you want to pass, you can just say pass, but I would love to just listen to, some folks that have done this practice, and, something that your womb, or something maybe that this practice has shown you, or why you think it's important. Everyone has an opinion, which I think is important in this container. Everyone's opinions are not important to me outside of this space, but in this space, this is why they pay me the big bucks. No, I'm just kidding. But this is why I'm here, because your opinion also does matter in, these contexts and in these containers. Like, we need to have spaces where we can share, right? So anyway, okay. So Alexandra and Maya and Jackie are all here, and they're all incredible womb healer workers and folks that, have really been holding a space of decolonizing our, the body and the collective, but also in their own journey, and returning to love and returning to the wisdom. And they all do that in their own unique ways. So, I was invited each of them to just share a little bit, for a few minutes. Anything that comes up for you. Like I said, it could be something you've received, like from your womb doing this work, or just from today in this moment, or why you think it's important for us to gather in this coven of womb healers and people who are willing to not know, but come together and listen, especially in community, because this is such a private thing for all of us. Obviously, our sexuality, our connection to spirit, like, it's such a private thing. So anything at all you want to share, we'd love to hear from you. And then we'll mute whoever our friend is that isn't muted, because that's Olivia. We're going to mute you, but we love you. Okay. Okay. So maybe Alex, and then Maya, and then Jackie, unless you want to go in a different order, just take it away. Do you want?
Can I go first?
You go
Because
first.
it's getting like dark. Oh gosh. Hi, can you hear me? Okay, so maybe it's not my turn then.
I can hear you. We can hear you, Maya.
Okay,
Yeah, you go first.
perfect.
And then
I
Alex.
thought it was like frozen.
Welcome.
Okay.
And share maybe where you are if you'd like, but anything else that you want to share just for a few minutes. Can't wait to hear. Yeah.
Hi everyone. My name is Maya and I'm from Nigeria. Okay, so somebody's knocking at the gates. I'm so sorry. Adriana, maybe you can go first and then I'll just go check and then I'll be
Okay, great. Alex, you can go. And no worries, Maya. This is, it's like we're hanging out here, so there's no problem. Okay. Just happy you're here. Okay. Maybe Alex, you want to go?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Am I lagging? Perfect. Okay. Yeah, I guess I would like to share why or how I found this womb work with Adriana, and why I ended up doing it. And I feel like when I started my journey, whether it was like a spiritual healing journey, it was kind of on the same path. And I immediately got a message that I needed to work with my womb. I was experiencing a lot of pain that I hadn't experienced before, and a lot of uh, like chronic symptoms of like UTIs and BV and yeast infections. And I was like, what is happening? Right? Like my body was like reacting to something. And I just knew this was like the part that I needed to do. And I I always love explanations behind things and like the scientific aspect of things, but I also love the spiritual and the magical part of it. And it just became so obvious to me that my womb and the root space was this like powerful, magical, healing, witchy, if you use that word, like portal access. And I really, after doing the practices and after having that in my life, I knew that so many people with wombs and this type of pain that I had been experiencing and chronic symptoms needed this. And I just wanted, and I love doing it in community. I learned so much. It's so relational, even though through colonization it has been made to be like this shameful thing, right? Like like we don't talk about it, like just go to the doctors, just like get medication for it. That's it. And there's just the magic of it is what makes me know that it's real, not the scientific part. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share.
So I'll go ahead and do the popcorn thing. Blessings to your womb, Alex. Thank you for your share. Um, my name's Jackie, and I'm a curious one. So curiosity landed me here. Um, I'm a curandera and a chamana, and I I think I was called to this work because I needed to connect my throat to my womb. Um, as someone who has capacity for a lot of love, one of my handles is Love Ambassadora. I was coming always from the heart, which is great. I mean, that's fantastic if you have a good heart or whatever, good, bad, what is that, right? Um, but there was a fire and I couldn't connect to the fire, and the fire was self-imploding. So the fire that I had, my cry for liberation, was doing more harm than good. I was imploding in my own fire. And um, as someone who's very connected to the medicine wheel, I always talk about wholeness and bringing in your mind, your body, your essence, and all of your being, not leaving any of your parts behind. So I knew that there was something that I was leaving behind. Insert um, womb work. And even I was doing work as partera, like a partera, like a doula. Like I was helping people through the death and the rebirth, and both physically and also in the spiritual realm. So I would go to actually to home births and be drumming, and like I was very familiar with the portal, but not in me in that way. And so it turns out that my heart is really open, very, very loving and soft, and holds a frequency of gentleness and tenderness and compassion, empathy, love, grace, all the yummy, yummy, yummy stuff, right? Um, and then I got Collie between my legs. That bitch is fierce. And I had a lot to say. But connecting that fierceness to the love, it just made my love fierce. So my fear of, being this like untethered wild bitch because I was only speaking from my yoni, actually got grounded into my heart. And now it's this fierce protective love for myself and the collective. And it's a beautiful medicine to now weave into my existing practices of curanderismo and indigeneity, cacao. And as a queer and two-spirited being, it also really helped my understanding of all that because it was very intellectualized. It wasn't embodied. Like I knew because I come from a family of many queer bodies and lots of drag. Um, but it was almost theatrical and performative. Where now, which I love that, and I'm like low key, like I hate that I'm not in New York with y'all, but that's for another day. Like, but it's embodied now, and I'm really happy. I'm like the happiest I've been, and I love sharing my medicine from this place of like, you can be tender and fierce, and you can be loving, and you can be this, you can be all of it. Um, the first something I want to share, the first one of the first mirror practices that we did kind of left me very discombobulated and also very it was very ¿cómo se dice? Era una confirmación. It was very confirmational to me. It was a confirmation. So when we did the mirror practice, what I got the first time, and I've gotten it over and over and over again, and I've deepened that relationship, fue el Sagrado Corazón de Jesús. It was the Sacred Heart of Jesus and the Immaculate Heart of Mary. And it kept toddling between both. And it was like blue and it was red and it was blue and it was red. And it had the little bob wires where it was like protection, but it had the flames was like, fuck you. And it was like all this stuff. And it was like me. Like I was like, oh, I knew it all along. It was like having a scratch off ticket and like you like got the winning ticket. You're like, but I knew it. I was like, I knew it. It was that. And it was and that's now led me into other holes of curiosity and connection, one being the Black Madonna that's also come up, and um, even Adriana's, lineage of queer and trans community. Like, there's just been so much growth, all because I connected my heart to the tongue of my tongue, to the tongue of my pussy, and here we are, and we're talking truth now, and we're talking truth, and we're talking, all of that. And I love it. And I want that for everyone else. So I'm starting to share it with my community. Um, my intention is really to be more on the online space as I get more familiar. Um, and yeah, I'm really thankful for this community. It was very affirming and life-giving to me. I entered your community, Adriana, at the beginning of my sobriety journey. So this has literally been my uh, non-patriarchal 12-step AA program. Um, if you know, you know what I'm talking about. Um, and I feel so resourced. I feel so loved. I feel a connection to white women that I was struggling to have. I had this narrative that um, I could not by any means be safe around white women, and now I don't I don't have that fear. I use my discernment. I don't get crazy, but discernment is key. But I love love, and thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jackie. Maya, I'm
Yeah,
crying.
you know, that was so powerful to receive. Thank you, Jackie, so much. That was so beautiful in so many ways. And so resonant as well. Yeah. Okay, so it's already dark, which is beautiful. I'm in Adriana's Dark Goddess Jula training, and so now the dark won't let me be. She just like follows me everywhere. So please bear with me. Um, so today I've been doing, or today I was doing some like womb attunement work, and all of these layers of like very deep layers of self-disgust and self-hatred came up. And like the entire week, I've been feeling very under-resourced. I'm a mom of one, and I'm currently pregnant, and I'm like, sort of doing everything alone. So I've been very like just no pleasure right now. I'm just mad and pissed. Um, and as I was tuning into my womb today, this layer that I didn't even know was there, but then my womb told me it's connected to like an ancestor in my mom's lineage from like 1,000 years before now, is what is like sort of like moving through. And that was very powerful for me to receive from my womb. And I'm still feeling like the emotions and like the cascade of all of that. And it's very powerful because before coming into Shameless Goddess, I had a very silent womb, a very silent womb. Like I would see my period like maybe twice a year or 3 times a year. And I had PCOS. And there was a lot of sexual trauma from my childhood. But then my lineage has a lot of just like traumatized wombs as well, which is very common for a lot of women and people with vulvas. And I remember even before getting to Shameless Goddess, like I would join like the yoni mapping sessions that Adriana would host every month. And I was sort of just like listening and tuning. And then when it's time for the practice, I would like run away. And so I was even deeply scared of just like touching my pussy. Like I was a click girl, I could have like 3 orgasms on myself, but like to like put my hand inside my yoni was so scary. It felt like the dark, and I was deeply afraid of what I would find. And I think the biggest thing that I really got from working or receiving the medicine of the Shameless Goddess container is that it's really a frequency. Um, the shame, like when you receive, like when you see just the picture of like Lajagari, which is like the shameless goddess in Indian mythology, you sort of receive her frequency. And so being in that container with like a wider love was so powerful and very transformative for me, because for the first time I began to find language from having a very quiet room. I begin to like understand, okay, wow, and receive like permission to even like be with her and to receive her. And it was very slow work, actually. It was very somatic, um, which was very big for me because I was so scared. Like I was just so scared of the pain that was there, and I could hardly even touch my or taste or know or experience my pleasure. And so it just really felt like the biggest thing I really received was the permission to just be with her and to grow past the fear of connecting to this deep, dark underworld that for me continues to reveal so much mystery and medicine, and there's so many treasures here. Um, and it feels like it's something that has been so forgotten, especially coming from a background of Christianity. I come from a Protestant family, so unlike Catholicism, where there's like the Virgin and the Black Madonna, there is no essence of the divine feminine in Protestant belief. And so there's a lot of shame just wired into my system, that even like during like self-touch, there would be so much shame coming up, and then getting into the shameless goddess, and then finally receiving the permission to be able to do the yoni mapping classes and the practices and the rituals that would like take us back to like our first um, period as teenagers or girls. It was also shamanic. I think that's like the biggest word I can really take from womb work and working in this frequency and in this container. It's very shamanic, and it does what it wants to do with you. So it will meet you where you are. The goddess will meet you where you are, and she will open you up and unravel what needs to unravel in her own way. Um, and it was so amazing to also do it in the cohort of so many beautiful women who, despite our different geographical locations, we all shared like this thread, of power that had been silenced and weaponized and forgotten, and like very deep decolonizing work um, and deep reclamation work of the sacred feminine. And so I'm so grateful, for what it offered me, because then the womb healers training then offered me tools now and the resource, but then also like just the trust in myself to be able to hold space for other womb holders, whether there's a physical womb or not. Um, but I think it also like really taught me like the reverence and sacredness for this work. Like God is really like really, really like just she massaged that into like my very essence of this is very sacred work. And this was like work that womb work is work that was like one of the like OG original temple arts. And so it's so sacred. Um and reclaiming that as women and people with vulvas and pussies, is just hugely, hugely reclaiming, our sacred essence and power and pleasure. So I'm so grateful, to have been able to taste the medicine and receive the medicine of the goddess and of Shameless Goddess in all the ways that she transformed my relationship to my own body and my own worth, and how that is continuing to work out in my service. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, Adriana. And thank you, everyone, for receiving.
Wow. Thank you. I just want to hear from every person. Like we need to just have like a day, but where we can like move also, because like, but the listening is so deep, because there's so much, there's just like, yeah, there's just so much goodness and so much essential wisdom and what each of you just shared. I'm just like, this is exactly why we do this. So each of us and each of you has this, you have this frequency of wisdom. That's the point, right? Of why we gather, of why we create a coven for us to be in the womb work together, because it's just like, yeah, you can just feel it. There's just nothing to even say, you can just feel it. So I want to just keep talking to and like listening, because I love talking and listening. But a different way of doing that in my body is to write and to listen and to write and to share, right? So that's what we're doing. So everyone can reveal some layer of their own wisdom from the womb. And the way we're going to do that, it's like everything, so much of what you three just shared is like, it's just like all swirling, in this way that like I don't want to move on from. I'm attached. I'm attached. Okay. Um, and so many folks in this space, Olivia, Adriana, like there's so many people. I'm like, oh, we just have to do this again. So we can like keep hearing from one another from in these like spontaneous, but like longer ways, and we do a lot of like sharing in small groups and, like that kind of thing, because you can see the value of it. Like, even if you're somebody that feels terrified to share, right? Which I know all three of those people and myself included like have had moments where it's like not even possible to share, actually. It's like too much. It would be too much for the nervous system to share. So this is like one to show us like to that's possible. It's not just starting from this place of like, yeah, assumed liberation. You know what I mean? This is starting from a place of that deep love and liberation that is within us all right now. But the process of actually revealing that, of like letting the layers of that reveal to us really is what's happening in this work. So I'm going to read you a poem and I'm going to give you a prompt. And in this practice, you'll take a pause and take a breath, and then you'll write whatever it is that is right there in the moment. We're going to take a moment to drop down into our womb, into our pussy, into our root, and then write from there. But it's really like trusting what wants to come through and trusting where it's coming from, right? Just being in that rebuilding and repairing if that's what is needed. I loved so much of what everyone just shared just now. And I love that Maya began by saying, I was not experiencing pleasure. I was pissed off. And that's, to me, pleasure isn't the goal, it's the path. So what that means is that it's like the safety that we're held in to experience whatever is true is pleasure. So pleasure can include all of it. To me, pleasure is like a landscape, the way grief is a landscape. It's not like one thing. It's like something that's wide, that's holding all the other things that are naturally going to arise, that are meant to arise. Otherwise, I mean, how could we argue with it? This is what's here now. So, okay, let me read you this poem. It's from a book called Inanna's Ascent. And there's so many poems that I want to read about this in particular. I was like, how am I supposed to pick one? But I just did a little intuitive choosing this morning because I just know there's so much, this connection. And thank you, Jackie, for bringing in this connection between the tongue and the womb, right? And you'll meet Varsha, Dr. Varsha, if you do the course. And, one of the classes on Kali, Dr. Varsha talks about Kali's tongue hanging out, not just, this icon of, slurping up the blood, of the demons, but also as something that's connected all the way through and down into our hearts, right? And I would even say it expands down into our wombs. So it's the potency of the freedom to express, right? And like, Jackie just articulated that in their own way and so beautifully, like to be able to speak truth, which is not something that I take for granted because I haven't always been able to do that, and to like even know what that means and to keep living in the question of what that means too, right? Because any feminine path is a path of relatedness. So we're just learning over and over, like, how am I relating to this now? And how is that deepening my capacity to love and to be loved? So, okay, I'm going to read this. I'm walking along in love and light. There's so much joy in all the little things, at least for me. But what's that simmering just under the surface? It feels a little off. It's probably nothing. Oh, what's happening? Is this an earthquake? Breathe. It'll be okay. The house is sturdy. The house is strong. It's weathered storms before. But what is this house really built on? Sand, quicksand. Are you ready for this? It won't be easy. My stakes are high and I require much. Most people cower and run away in fear. I demand your all and your every. This is your last chance to put your head in the sand and hide. No, I won't hide this time. I am ready. Let's go. So how's that house? Are you going to knock it down? Think you'll rebuild it? Ha! Find solid ground. You love your denial. How's that been working? You've allowed for years of good enough. Your denial is strong and we don't want to look. Just open your eyes and I will help you see. I will lead you home and your truth will set you free. I'm so confused. This can't be real. How could this have happened? Was it me? Maybe I'll live in limbo just until the shaking stops. No, it's too much. The shaking won't end. I feel queasy. Limbo sucks. Wait, is there some joy? And true connection and a true connection. Yes. Nope, never mind. It was just a mask. Now this feels empty. There's nothing here. I'm all alone. I did it wrong. I must be lost. I feel so used. That truth, it hurts. This is just torture. It's not fair. I've had enough. I can't just give up, but I want out. Goddess, release me. No, you can't leave. We're not done. You have work to do. You know what it is? You see that shadow? Yeah, that one there. It ain't pretty. Yes, it's yours. It must be honored. It must be seen. You must dissect it. Yes, this gets messy, but don't give up. We have time. You'll get out alive. But first, this must die. Huh? Wait, what? You're joking, right? I didn't sign up for this. This can't die. Look at this life, this beautiful life. It's meant to be here. I love it here. Well, most of the time, I mean, it's comfortable. I'm usually safe. It's what I want, right? Well, it's all I know. What else is there? Yikes, this sounds scary. But could there be more? Is there more? Goddess, show me. I am Goddess, the queen of the dark. You set an intention to live in truth. Don't mess with words because I'll see you keep them. This is my journey. I've carved you this path, and it's an honor you won't forget. I'm always here in your shadow, in your truth, in your fear, in your pain, in the void, in the dark night of your soul. I am Inanna. I am Kali. I am Pele. I am Medusa. I am Erishkigal. I am Hecate. I am Persephone. I am you, and you are me. We are one, an eternity. So, I love that story. It's so relatable, right? All the parts that arise. It's also really fun, this journey and this story. I would add that. It's really fun. So let's just take a moment, just, take a nice deep breath and just orient to your space and feel into your womb. It helps you to just kind of move your hips around a little bit. I'm here in New York City and just like feeling this hum and this buzz of aliveness that I feel when I'm in this sacred place and land that really nurtures my wild creative soul. And you can feel into the land where you are and the ancestors of that land. And just ask your womb, what wants to be shared, what wants to be said. And I'll give you a prompt that you can flow with, and I'll give you 5 minutes to flow. And the prompt is, I'll write it in the chat, and then you can take it into a note or a journal. And as you do it, one of the things that I guess I would invite you to, if you choose to accept, is just to feel the parts of your roots. So all the way from your tailbone to your pubic bone and even out to your sit bones, right? This diamond at your root. Just feel the parts of your body that are touching the surface you're sitting, and feel that diamond. And, just kind of when you take a pause, unless you are going to write feverishly, which I recommend. But if you do pause, just feel that. Just feel the parts of your body touching what's supporting you. Feel the support below and around you, because we are supported in this moment in more ways than one, which all these beautiful humans that just shared really helped us feel. So carrying that with us, okay? And so the prompt is, it must be seen. It must be seen. And I'll let you know when you have about 30 seconds left. Okay, so you can let that line wind down. And I just, as you're, well, I'll pause and let you wind that lines down. Okay, so we will put the links for Shameless Goddess because the discount, the $250 off ends tonight, at midnight. And I wanted to hold a little bit of space for folk to just gather with somebody. And if you want to read, you can read what you wrote, as a way of having it held in this, container. We didn't read our guidelines. We have guidelines that we read during our sessions, so everybody's really clear. So we just don't have the time. So I'm just going to do it, and it's a risk. And so if you don't want to do it, you can, choose to pass and just listen, um, or you can go do something else that you want to do right now. And you're welcome to always do that. That's an option. But I just want to do it because I want everyone that does want to, see what it's like. And I generally, there's enough people. I can't say that I know every single person here, but I know like almost every person here. So I feel like it's an okay risk, to take. Otherwise I wouldn't do it. Okay. So I'm just going to do some little groups, and basically, and then if both people are like, oh, I just wanted to come receive, then maybe just say, hi, who are you? Where are you? And just like talk for a couple minutes and then come back, or just come back. And you're only going to have, and come back as soon as you're done. So if you do both, or if you show up with someone else and then you'll say, I'll go first, if you do want to share, and then just read what you wrote and try not to qualify it. Like, try not to be like, I know it's really sucky because, it's no one edited it and anything, they just wrote. So it's not the point. And notice if that impulse to qualify comes up, and just let that be a moment where you get to love the part of you that is like, it needs to be perfect to be heard, because that's part of the work, right? So, okay, I just wanted to leave a little bit of room for folks. And then we're going to just close right after that. So please come back as soon as you're done. And then we'll just take a moment to just say bye. And I hope to see some of you in our space, that's going to start next week and the week after. I think one group here. Okay, B, I'm going to move to. Okay, B, just don't go. Oh no. Yeah. Oh wait, no, someone else just left, so it's perfect. Okay. Okay, no one else leave. Okay, bye. See you in a few.
Oh, no one was there.
I know, I was just about to
Oh,
put someone in
oh,
there. I know.
I'll
I'm
go
sorry.
past. Sorry.
Okay. Okay, hold on. No, it's okay. I wonder if I could still do it. Hold on. I think I can. I was gonna put you two in a room because these other people weren't there. Okay, hold on. Tasha into 7. Okay, thank you, Jenna, for doing that. Okay, I'm gonna put you. I was gonna move you so you had people, because you know how it is. Sometimes people are like, just have their phone on, they're not paying attention. I don't know. Okay, but it should give you an option to go back. Yeah, do you see it? Oh, and then Margot. Oh, because Adriana has her two things here. Okay, hold on. Margot to 5. Move to 5. Margot. Oh, okay. Yes. Okay, good. All right. Hi. Did you have a person with you or nobody came? Okay, hold on. I know sometimes it's like this is what happens. It's because of the hold on. I was trying to move people where they needed to go because I wanted you to have somebody with you. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna move you into a room with these two people and just tell them that I sent you. Okay? Okay. They're very nice people. I know them. Welcome. Did you guys get to share or did you also get abandoned in your rooms?
No, I shared in mine. We just did very short.
Okay, great. Beautiful. Welcome back. I'm just asking because people, it's like it always gets all like jumbled and sometimes no one's in the room with them and then I gotta like move it back. And then Sarah, did you have someone in yours? I'm just checking. Or
Yeah, I was with
oh,
Brianna.
oh, perfect. Okay, and then Margot. I'm sorry if I'm not saying your names right. You can always correct me. But did you have someone too, or did you just not have someone?
No, I got abandoned.
Oh, damn it. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna send you somewhere and just tell them that I sent you, even if you just they're nice people that I'm sending you to. And you could just tell them that I sent you there just in case. And if you want to share, you can. If you don't, you can just tell them you're just coming to say hi. Okay. Sorry about that. It always happens. Move to, hold on. Okay. Da 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 da. Move to. Okay, cute. Okay, try that. And then Brianna and Sarah. Can you tell me how to say your name?
Yeah, it's Sada.
Sada. Beautiful. Thank you. How was that for you? How was the sharing or how was the listening?
Oh, it was like so beautiful to receive. Thank you, Brianna, for like being so open to doing that. Um, yeah, I think I'm just like in a like super like inward space right now,
Hmm.
just
Hmm.
a little like frozen. So
Yeah,
I feel
great.
like I'm like just continuing to melt into it, but it was nice to receive.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Sada. Yeah. And how about you, Brianna? How is it for you?
Yeah, great. I wrote a poem, so that felt really good. And I got to read it, so that felt really good.
Good. Great. Thank you for sharing. Yeah. And it's such a part of the practice, it's just like what you just said of like continuing to melt, I mean that's really like so much of especially this particular body of work is I think all really somatic and embodiment work is about that because it's all about moving from fixity into flow, but the fixity always comes back because we move through many layers and cycles if we're continually evolving and growing, right? So but in particular with the womb, yeah, there's like the freeze is a natural thing that does arise. It's what I experience to this day, like over and over again. And then it's like, okay, now what do we do? Like, and how do I work with this, within myself? And how do I work with this in relationship? And how do it's all, part of it. So thank you for sharing that. It makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah. Okay, Vivian, Rebecca, hello, welcome back. How was that for you?
Beautiful.
Good. Anything you noticed like sharing or receiving or anything, you know?
Every time I share, I feel like I get more and more brave. Sorry, I'm at work, so I have to be quiet.
I love when people come at work and they're not supposed to be there. It's like
Yeah.
my favorite. I'm like, yes.
So, yeah. And when I started, don't know if you remember, I told you I get so nervous sharing. Like I get such anxiety.
And it's like the more you make me share, well, not make me, but you know what I mean, the more you're like, do this, and I'm like, oh, yes.
I
So it's
get
like
it.
not as, I don't know, like I guess my anxiety, it still comes from like that, like not wanting to be seen and addiction and like all that. So it's like, it just, I love it.
Yeah.
It's beautiful being able to hear and receive and then be able to share too. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Mhm.
Thank you. Yeah, I get it. I mean, yeah, that's part of why we do it because I totally understand. It's like, yeah, so many layers there. And the listening is so deep, and especially for those folks that are more introverted or, it's like you're such good listeners, like deep, deep listeners, and I think that that's part of why there's so much at stake when those parts of us go to share, you know what I mean? Because you're just like, whoa, like I know how deeply I listen, and it's like, okay, like I think it just really means that we like care a lot, or those parts of me, because I'm kind of, introverted in some moments and with certain things and completely extroverted with others. And another, I'm just like definitely both and with that. But, yeah, I get it. It's beautiful. Anyone else want to share anything you noticed sharing or listening? Yeah, or any words that stuck out to you in your own writing that were like you want to put into the cauldron as people are coming back?
I'll pop in if that's okay.
Yeah.
I shared a poem and it was interesting because after you had read your poem, it just poured through me and um I was telling who I was partnered with that because of the inspiration of your poem that was able to that you read poured through me, and I'm so disconnected from that. And I need to surround myself, I think, with more poetry and more things like that. It just was like a deep reminder and made me very emotional to even like
Mm.
recognize that I'm not surrounding myself with the things that, bring my gifts forth and through me.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Jenna. Yeah, it's huge. And it's like the majority of, and what I love about holding the spaces that we hold, because it's like, that's what it's here for. So I'm glad that you felt that. And I also hear the sadness and or the grief rate and the like, oh, wait, like, yeah, like that's good to feel that longing, because that helps us take action in certain ways, that we otherwise might not. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I get it. Yeah, it's really important for me too to be immersed in space like that, and like, yeah, and why I have so many poems to share, like that, like they just come to me now, but like I'm also and have been for many years in spaces and containers where like, somebody's reading a poem to me and I'm like, what? Like this is like, like just so, it's like essential for me, the words and the words that are drenched and the things that like I didn't know needed to be said, and I get that from like I just got that from, those, from Jackie and Maya and Alex sharing earlier too. You know what I mean? Just like receiving their wisdom of the moment through their spoken word really is what that was, right? It's like them channeling their direct experience. I get so fed in that part of me gets fed by that too. So yeah, such an honor. All right, so I'm going to close all the other rooms so we can all say goodbye properly, even though some people aren't going to be done and they're going to be feeling that. But we're here for the feelings, and it's okay. It's okay to feel, period. There's no way around it. There's no way around the pleasant and the unpleasant and the neutral feelings. Here we are, here for them. All right, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Hello? Okay. Hi. Alex, you can't hear me? Maybe your volume, I think I was just talking to people, so somebody can hear me. Can you hear me now? Yes. Okay. Wait, did Alex disappear? What happened? Okay. Okay. It's okay. All right. Well, welcome back. And, I was talking to some of the folks that came back a little, let me just let Alex back in, that came back a little sooner. just about like the value of deeply listening and then feeling what it's like, to share just the unedited, whatever's here in the moment, I think it's like for me, just like listening to our beautiful friends that shared this morning, just directly from their body and experience and intuition and each of them is a channel for this fire of love and transformation. It's just, yeah, it's so nourishing. So I hope that this time felt like that to you and your body and your heart. And just know that, here, wait, let me put is B here? Where's B? Hold on. B is our community support
Yeah,
person.
I'm
there you
Oh,
go.
hi.
here.
Yeah. I
Hi.
sent you a message. Oh, okay. Okay. You got my message. Okay, cool. Yeah. And I'm
Yep.
going to I'll put the link in again here at the bottom. So if you want to click on it to read later, and just send me a message if anybody, send me an email if anybody has any questions about the Shameless Goddess. And either the practitioner training or the course, there's an option for both. We usually do this one a couple times a year, but there might be for the teacher training, it might just be once next year because I want to do, there's two levels to it, and I want to do level 2 more towards the first half of next year. So we might not do the practitioner training again till this time next year. So yeah, just so
Can I share
nourished by you all.
something?
Yeah.
Okay. So, because I was writing on the same page for when I was in Fire in the Night with Harshada,
Uh-huh.
and it made me think, because someone shared in our group, I think they left, but they said that what needs to be seen is their outrageous power. And it made me think, first of all, of a lot of my pain is because I clench a lot because of whatever I'm experiencing, and I feel myself physically clenched even when I'm like doing practices, and I always have to like just be aware of that, and I know that's why there's physical pain and like all that other stuff. But then I was thinking about how you're talking about how these practices, our spiritual practices, our physical practices, being in community, all of it allows space for the Shakti and for the energy and for love to come through. And that's why these practices and this group works, because that's what it does, like physically and
Yeah.
spiritually. So I just
Yeah.
like put those
Yeah.
two things together. I just really appreciate
Yes. Thank you,
it.
Alex. Yeah. Yeah. And even like what you're saying, because I mean, I so deeply relate to that. It's always like, where's the tension now? And you know what I mean? And it's like,
Mhm.
and like that's why, right? That's like more to love, more to integrate, more to like, here's the place where it's like the Shakti is getting stuck and like how
Mhm.
does, not just to like, oh, it needs to go. It's just like, okay, here's where it's also getting loved. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like when we talk about Kundalini Shakti, which like we talk about in this training, at the shameless goddess, this formless, right? It's not just the goddesses and these different names, but like one formless energy of the goddess that then takes on all these different forms. It's like, yeah, like where does she want to flow? Where do they want to move in us? And oftentimes the body, in my experience, in the body's intelligence, like, my teacher Deborah Sandal used to always say, like, we don't teach anything your body doesn't already know. And there's something so strong in that because it's like, I think that that's true on that deeper soul level too. It's like she knows what needs healing. She knows where to go, and like we're relating to her, because I think that consent is huge, and all the things that we're learning to continually shed, and also to continually like stand up inside or stand up for, within ourselves and within the world too, for sure. So I love that. And I love that phrase, outrageous power. So whoever that was, thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Thanks, Alex. Okay, friends. We'll see you soon, and keep writing. If you felt like something was moving for you in the writing, just open up one of the dusty ass books you got on your bookshelf and blow off the dust. open it up, ask your womb to like reveal a passage, ask the shameless goddess to show you something, and do a little spontaneous oracle oracally led exercise, and just read and choose a line that stands out to you and set a timer. The timer is important because it holds the containment, right, for the Shakti. And that's why the containers that we do are important too, like Alex was just sharing. And there's many ways to connect to us. If the course isn't the thing for you, we have lots of things and ways to connect, but the course is going to be really fun. So I hope you come if you're inspired to. And yes, and thank you, B, for blessing our retreat time. Some of us are going to be in New York on retreat this weekend. So it's going to be really, really crazy. It's going to be, I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to be a risk. It's called the risk of intimacy. So I just keep thinking about things we're doing, and I'm like, I just don't know what's going to happen. It's a risk. This could totally be a failure. This could fail. I can't wait to see. Yes. Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you for sending that. Yeah. Okay. All right. If you want to unmute just to say bye, ciao for now. Have such a blessed day or evening wherever you are. Thank you again, Alex and
Bye,
Jackie and Maya.
everyone.
Thank you.
Adios, de nada.
Adios.
Thank
you.
you.
This was great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Have fun in New York. I wish I could come maybe next time. I
Quick question. Is that New York? Is the link that you posted the thing that's happening in New York?
No. Do you want
No,
that link?
Yeah, I would love it because I happen to be here and, well,
What?
the first works
You're
this.
supposed to be here. There's always like one person that comes like the day before. This happens to me. I'm not kidding. I'm not just saying this.
No.
Like last year when I was in New York, this happened. So we'll see. Hold on. Let me send you.
Like it just things fall in front of me. I just had a meeting at work that got moved, and I saw your email and I popped in, and I'm like, oh,
Amazing.
it's in New York, and like this is my journey. So like, yay. But let me see because I have a
Yeah.
dog in chemo too. But I would love information.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna just send you the link really quick because it'll be easier for me to do it now than the email you and then forget.
Thank you.
Okay, there it is. But yeah, but we have like literally like it's full, and there's like I keep being like if there's one more person that wants to come in, like it's definitely welcome. You're welcome to come, especially if you were just here. This would be you would love it if you're feeling aligned with this. So did you get the link?
Yeah, so it's the Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
Yeah, so it's Friday night, tomorrow night.
Okay.
Tomorrow's the 22nd, and then it's Saturday. If you scroll down, you'll see the schedule and everything is there. And if you have questions, just email me.
I will. Okay, thank you.
Yay. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Ciao. Bye, Tasha. Nice to see you.